Jam diet.
Tell me. I'm gonna quote this.
For those out there who you've probably heard it on, you may have heard it on one other podcast. If you haven't, you'll enjoy it, I hope. So the story is that I was a PEI in Belmarsh, physical education instructor.
Gym screw,
but most highly trained in the country.
Yeah,
but we don't like to talk about that.
But you got, as a prisoner, you got a little bit more respect than a normal prison officer.
Yeah,
you were the gateway to the gym.
Different relationship.
Yes.
So you would, if you were jobbed off, as they call it, the gym might be shut down, and they'd send you to a wing, and you'd sit there in your tracksuit. Yeah. You'd now be surrounded by 10 inmates. Gav.
Yeah.
I want to put weight on my biceps.
Yeah, that's it.
I want to build my shoulders.
Yeah.
So it used to be a good release valve on the wing for the officers. So anyway, I was a PE instructor. And as a PE instructor, every year they up your training of what course would you like to do? Go and find a course. So I became a National Amateur Bodybuilding Association coach and things like that. And so along with that, they said, would you like to do a nutrition course at the City of Westminster University? I said, all right. So I went on this course and did the nutrition. So now I'm the nutrition man in Belmarsh, right? So, but I'm going on holiday tomorrow to Turkey, and it's a Friday. And I've got to give him a mention. We talk about relationships with inmates. Mickey Guilfoyle is a very famous. When he was a boxer, right, they used to call him the horizontal kid because he was usually spent most of his time on his back. So that's what I tell everyone.
Yeah.
And he used to, on his boots, he used to have help written on his boots. Help me. That was nothing. He was a cracker. He was our gym orderly, and he says, "Gav, there's a bloke in the changing room." Or George, you never call me Gav. George, bloke in the changing room. What's helped to lose weight? And he's getting out soon. I went, for fuck's sake, Mick. I said, I'm going on holiday tomorrow. I said, it's like 4 o'clock. I'm away at 5:30. I'm off for 2 weeks. He went, help me, man. He's a nice bloke. He's on our spot 4. So I said, come on in, send him. So he goes and gets him, and he's gone, he's all right, geezer. Gav, sort us out. The fuck is staying here? I've got to fucking lose weight. I'm out in about 6 weeks. I said, anything you can do? I went, fucking, you've left it late, haven't you? He went, I know. He says, but the missus has turned up. He said on a visit the other day, and she's going, look at all these fucking geezers. You're a fucking big tab of lard. This geezer's here with muscles coming out of everywhere, and you're walking around like a big fucking blob. Like this. So she's put it on him. So he said, I'll go and see Mr. Shipton. He'll help me lose weight. So I said, all right. I said, so the little devil in my head just went, depends on how far you want to go, how extreme you want to go. We're on limited time. Mate, you tell me what to do, Gov, I'll fucking have it. I'm so committed, I'll fucking do anything you tell me to do. Well, yeah. They all fucking say that. Until you tell them, I said, the new things that have come on the market, there's new things that blow your mind away in America and stuff like that. He went, what's going on? I went, all right, are you ready to open your mind? He went, yeah, go on. I went, there's a new thing in America. It's fucking going bananas. It's called the jam diet. I don't know where I got it. It's gone, fuck off. I went, yeah, I see. Typical, the uneducated man. I said, now, if you listen to the science of it, you'll understand what it's all about. He went, well, God, then what is it? I went, right. I said, so you've got adipose fat. Do you know what adipose fat is? I said, it sits under the skin. I said, let me grab it. There. If we grab about an inch, I said, that's adipose fat. I said, it helps you float in water. I said, so you've got this adipose fat, but we eat and we put more adipose fat there. I said, now, if I've got a lump of that adipose fat, put it in a bowl, I said, I poured a load of acid on it. I said, what would happen to that fat? Well, it'd melt. There you go. I said, now you've got a pH level which stops acid in your body. That's why you put fat on. Yeah. I said, now how do you get the pH level down? You increase your acid intake. I said, acidity. I said, and the perfect substance is jam. And he went, see how it's like a light bulb. He went, fucking hell, yeah, it makes sense, doesn't it? I went, thank you. I said, thermogenesis kicks in. I said, what's that? I went, well, you'll burn fat. You will increase your body temperature by increasing the acid. I said, and you will burn fat while you're sitting in your Peter, or sitting in yourself. I said, you'll fucking burn fat. I said, sitting on your ass, you won't even have to train. How much do I eat? I went, right, now there's the thing. I said, if you was on the out, I said, you could measure it, grams and this and fucking this, that and the other. I said, you can't, you're inside. I said, so my advice to you is fucking stuff that stuff down your throat as much as possible, like this. And it's gone, really? I went, you've got a fucking chore jam, you've got a swap jam, you've got to go up to the clean, not the sort of fucking hot plate. Let me spare jam, Gav. I said, you've got to sort yourself out. Jam, really, every waking hour, you've got to be stuffing jam down you. Mate, I'm fucking having this. I mean, good luck, right? So I'm off on holiday tomorrow. I said, I'll love to see you when you come back like this. So, of course, I fucked up the turkey, and I've come back, and I've forgotten all about it. And I've come back, walked in the morning, Mickey Guilfoyle sitting there, usually with his cup of tea, and he's going like this. And I went, what are you laughing at? He went, you've got it this morning, I'll tell you. I went, what? He went, that geezer with a jam diet. Oh, he didn't do it, did he? He went, didn't do it. He's a fucking headache. He said, he's everywhere on the week. Got any jam, mate? Yeah, I can do that with his jam. Let's sort this out. Drop us out some jam with you. He said, he's fucking stuffed it down his neck. I said, what's happened to him? He said, he's coming down this morning. What's the word with you? Oh, for fuck's sake. So I'll grab myself a cup of tea, and I can hear them all coming. You know, you've been in Belmarsh.
Yeah.
In the changing room, they come down, and then he's got the PEIs up there still.
Yeah.
So I can hear him. Where's that fucking gym screw? Where's that fucking gym screw? I'm going to fucking have a word with him. So I'm saying, a cup of tea, like, and he's come walking down. Oi! What? He said, fucking what? Look at me! Like this, and my like, the geezer put under his thumb.
It was right? Sugar.
It was sugar, and he's covered in fucking zits.
Oh, what's he got a spotty?
He said, my fucking old woman thinks I'm a fucking skaggy, you cunt. He said, look at the fucking state of me. So I put in a fucking stone. He said, I'm a fucking mess. This jam diet, like that. And I just went, let's be happy. Right, mate. I said, if you fucking believe that, you deserve everything you've got, you mug. Like this. And fair play, he went, do you know what, Gov? That is fucking brilliant. That is a fucking brilliant joke.
You know what that reminds me of? Porridge. Do you know that? You know the series?
I know
Porridge.
the series, yeah.
Because it's, even though you're in such a bad situation for the prisoners, obviously it's a job that's very hard to do, and your emotions are up and down considering what happens during the day. But it just shows you, even though it's a shit place, the banter.
I think that is a very...
The humour.
I think that's only in Britain. Because we've had Americans, we had them in the HSU, people from the Supermax prisons and all that, and they came over, they couldn't fucking believe what they were seeing. That we were having a good laugh with it, with the IRA and people like that, and playing pool with them and all that. They couldn't get their head around it, so we don't talk to them. I said, why do you think? Because they came to see we had the least amount of assaults on staff in a high secure unit in Europe. So they said they wanted to know how we're doing it.
Yeah.
But they couldn't. Americans can't get their head around the humour, the banter.
Because they're very...
We've got a lot of grey in prison.
Yeah.
Black and white, which the Americans are.
Yeah.
No, you're not allowed that.
But they're more quartered. You know, they're very tribalism. You know, like the blacks, the Latins, the whites, the Irish.
Yeah. You get that lesson.
Whereas like, I know personally, like, I've been on wings where, there is a group, it can be quite cliquey.
Yeah.
But there might be Muslims, Irish, always a couple of travellers, a couple of black boys. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
but I think that's English.
Yeah.
Prisons.
When
you go to Scotland, the Scottish prisoners stick together more.
Yeah.
The English prisoners don't.
Yeah.
They don't stick together. They go, fuck that. I'm not having that. I'm getting in a cell.
Yeah.
I ain't doing more bird. But the Scottish won't. They'll fucking have it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's interesting, isn't it?
It's that dynamic of the British humour, the English.